Hello everybody, welcome to the session on design thinking for artificial intelligence and or machine learning. Okay. At the outset, I would like to thank all the researchers, scientists, engineers, innovators, industries, research centers and institutions around the world whose content is being used in presentation purely for academic purpose. The agenda of this session is as follows: Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, Design Thinking for Artificial Intelligence, and detailed study of the intelligent fan as a use case study. Now, why artificial intelligence is required? As per the current trend, there is a demand in work. There is a work demand is growing in terms of volume, complexity, repetitive, and risk. There is a availability of the voluminous data. Better algorithms are available. Performance storage is increasing, and the performance of the computing system also exponentially increasing. But the human beings are unable to handle that systems. And to improve the human machine interactions and also to do more creative and innovative work along with predicting and discovering the hidden insights in the voluminous pattern data, it has become indispensable nowadays to take the assistance of the artificial intelligence. It is human beings are now being unable to absorb, interpret and make complex decisions based on the voluminous data, and also artificial intelligence has become indispensable to improve the level of human comfort. The main motivation behind the artificial intelligence is the working nature of the human brain itself. The human brain has got a different exciting abilities like cognitive skills, problem solving skills, and social behavior that human expresses, along with the processing sensory informations, vision, hearing, language, memory, and movement, mimics, postures. Okay, all these abilities has made motivated many scientists to work toward the artificial intelligence system just like a human being. Human beings are very good in handling emotional intelligence. The mind of the human being is very curious. Is a fast thinker. He has the absorption ability. He has got different sensors and he can pursue all the environmental changes. And mind triggers the activities spontaneously. He has got the critical thinking capability. He learns very fast and he responds and gives caring also, and is able to unlock the new abilities. He can do some innovative things. He can model the personality, can change the personality as per the requirement needs. Okay, the dispute, he can settle the disputes and arguments. He's an open-minded person, and all integrity and principles behavior can be expressed by the human being, and he will have the ability of analytical thinking also, and psychological manipulations he can perform. He can remain connected to the mobile devices or any other devices, and he expresses synergy and shared mind. Okay, he can handle the criticism and pressure, and is good at logical thinking and his awareness and perceptions. Yeah, all these abilities have been motivated for the scientists to design a system which is intelligent enough just like a human being. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Formally, artificial intelligence is a field of study, or it may be a field of it's a branch of computer science also to design and develop software programs for machines that perform human-like cognitive tasks without explicit programming. Means here the main intention of the artificial intelligence to write a programs or to design and develop a programs to make the machines to think and work like a human being. Any object if you take it can be considered as an artificial intelligent object provided if it has got abilities like perceiving and learning, problem solving, decision making, predicting, storing, and it can take judiciously the actions, and even it can communicate with other objects or human being naturally in natural languages. Any object the surrounding whatever the object that we come across in our regular real-time environment, it can be considered as an intelligent object, provided if it is embedded with an intellectual abilities. Okay, that is object plus intellectual abilities can be considered as an intelligent object. That is the intention of design of any artificial intelligence object must be embedding an intellectual capabilities to an object. For example, if you take a mobile phone, it can be considered as an intelligent mobile phone, provided if it has got some characteristics like it must be context aware in nature, in the sense it must know in which location it is existing, what it is, what complete details about itself, what is the current time, what is the user situation, and it must be able to learn the user usage patterns. It must be able to recommend the services with minimum user interaction. Automatically, it has to recommend the services without asking any too much interactive questions. Natural interactions with user and other objects, and it must can be used as a personal assistant, diary, and planner also. And it must store by itself all the data, necessary data, without interventions or minimal interventions of the user into the cloud based on hierarchy or importance. Okay, it must clean by itself, self-cleaning and updating with minimal notifications. If this some minimal features or some features, intellectual features, if it possess, then we can say that mobile phone is an intelligent phone. Now, what is the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning? See, artificial intelligence is a big domain. Okay, it is a big set. Okay, under that we have got different branches. Out of that, machine learning is one branch. The deep learning is a part of machine learning. Deep learning is a learning uh, techniques in which artificial neural networks being used for implementation purposes. Whenever there is a huge set of data, whether it may be structured or unstructured data is available, and the learning task has to be done. In such cases, the multi-layered artificial neural network is very found very performing. That in such cases we can make use of the deep learning techniques. Deep learning is nothing but it is a machine learning, particularly for the vast amounts of data, and it makes use of the multi-layered neural network structures. Machine learning is the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. It makes use of the classical learning algorithms like supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms. And artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science, or it's a field of study to design and develop a programs which makes the machines uh, with the ability like learning, reasoning, judging, making decision, perceiving, and so on. That is which can mimic the human behavior. This is about a brief definition of this artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. If we go to these different techniques available in artificial intelligence like deductions, reasoning, knowledge representation, expert systems, neural network, planning, robotics, computer visions, natural language processing, machine learning, deep learning, this all comes under artificial intelligence subjects. Artificial intelligence has got three main domains, particularly like data, computer visions, natural language processing. These three domains are very important to for design and development of any AI-based systems or objects. When it comes to the only learning things, we have got two types of learning techniques. One is machine learning techniques and deep learning techniques. Under machine learning techniques, we will have three main different types of machine learning techniques like supervised learning techniques, unsupervised learning techniques, and reinforcement learning techniques. Under supervised learning techniques, we have got classification and regressions. Under classification, we have got Findex algorithm, candidate elimination algorithm, decision tree algorithm, naive-Bayes classifiers, support vector machine, KNN algorithm, and logistic regressions. All these algorithms, it is not exhaustive. It is some of the most important types of the algorithms. Under regression, we can see that linear regression, locally weighted regressions, multilinear regressions, polynomial regressions, lasso regression, like this. Under unsupervised, which is not a rule-based techniques, it is a unsupervised learning techniques. Under that, we have got clustering. We have under clustering, we have got k-means EM algorithm. Under dimensionality reduction, we have got PC, and association analysis, we have got FP growth. Okay, in supervised learning, we will have a training data set that is labeled data sets will be there. In unsupervised learning, learning happens through the only the input. There will be no labeled data or training data sets will be available for this. And the reinforcement learning happens based on the action that the system takes and the reward or feedback that it gets in return from the environment. Some techniques like Q learning and genetic algorithms comes under reinforcement learning. Under deep learning techniques, we have got different types of neural network like classic neural network with minimal layer, convolution neural network with more layer. Convolution neural network, particularly, it is used for image processing or video processing things like applications like the recurrent neural network, generative adversarial network, self-organization map, Boltzmann machines, deep reinforcement learning, autoencoder, backpropagation, gradient descent. These are all different deep learning techniques available. Now, there is no universally acceptable approach for implementing the artificial intelligence. There is no one common generic approach for design and development of artificial intelligence systems. Now, when it comes to design thinking, how to design an artificial intelligence. So, the design thinking for artificial intelligence is a non-linear. It is not a linear one. It is a iterative one. Okay, and it's a repetitive process that one can use for understanding, redefining users' real-time problems, and provide innovative, efficient solution through machine intelligence. Design thinking for artificial intelligence actually it involves a designing a that is understanding the user's problems clearly and ideating the different ideas and modeling that ideas. Okay, that is developing a solutions for the idea and building a prototype and finally deploying the things. The goal of any design thinking for artificial intelligence must and should be in the perspective of both machine as well as human. In conventional design thinking, the perspective is mainly the users problem. It will be surrounded with only the user problems, empathizing the users, understanding the users like this. But in case of artificial intelligence, the goal of design thinking for artificial intelligence should be both human centered as well as machine centered. Okay, to machine centered in the sense to enable objects or machines with intelligence capability. Therefore, it has to understand, one has to understand completely the capability of the machines to be incorporated and what are the limitations that one has to be followed one once one whether what type of capabilities that has to be embedded into that machines that has to be considered in detail while designing the machine. Okay, when it comes to the human center, human will always ask to provide intelligent solutions for users real time problems. He will always interested with finding a solutions for his regular everyday problems. And the machine centered in the sense how what are the capabilities that we have to include into that machine or embed into that machines in order to enable the object to solve the real time problems that human being facing. Now, these are the different phases of design thinking for artificial intelligence. There are three main phases before deployment. That is, one is problem scoping, followed by modeling, and followed by prototyping, and finally, it will be a deployment. And the problem scoping, the actual user problem has to be understood here completely. That is, empathizing the users, his situations, and or different problems he is facing. What are the types of solution he is expecting? All those things has to be considered and a problem has to be defined. That will be the problem scoping. At the end of the problem scoping, one has to end up with the problem statement. This problem statement will be an input for modeling. In the modeling stage, a brainstorming has to be done from the different team members and come out with the different ideas. Idea 1, idea 2, idea 3 like this. Okay, they different come out with the different ideas. That is called ideating. After ideating with multiple ideas, one has to select any few one idea. For that idea, data has to be prepared and intellectual AI capabilities that has to be needed has to be identified. What is the AI capabilities required for that particular idea, like whether it is only a learning capability or natural language processing or communication capability, expert system capability, that is rule based capabilities, or vision based or speech based capabilities. All those things has to be uh, clearly identified and models has to be generated. And here once again we may have n number of models. From this in this stage actually we have to identify the best idea. One has to identify the best idea and best model. Once the model has been identified, a prototype has to be designed. A model tuning can be done with the different performance metrics. Based on that, a final selection of the model has to be done. Once the model tuning is over, they have with the agreement of the software development life cycle. That is whether they have to go the agile model or waterfall model. They have to come out with one conclusion, which one is the best software development cycle model for that project. After that, they have to start design and developing a prototype. That is prototype building will happen, and testing, and after testing the prototype with a sufficient feedback and performance evaluation parameters, they have to finalize the prototype. Once the prototype has been designed, after finalizing the prototype has to be tested with multi level type of testings. After all type of testing is over, one can go for deploying the product, and it can be made to the user to use that product. And this is the different phases of design thinking for artificial intelligence. Here one thing is as already told, one must concentrate on not only the user problem, we must also concentrate on machine capabilities also. It is a two perspective. One is user perspective and another one is machine perspective. If you take a intelligent, and suppose I want to design a fan which is intelligent in nature. Okay, intelligent in nature. Then first of all, what are the problems that a user is facing, or what is the limitations of the existing fan? Fan is not context aware. It does not know who it is, why it is, what it is, like this. Okay, it must be made aware about itself. Fan is not recognizing the user and his or situation. Fan should be switched on regularly, off manually, on and off manually. Fan speed should be set alter manually. That is, it has to be done externally here. It cannot do by itself. Fan does not know how to adjust the speed by itself as per the user requirement. Fan is not aware about the speed and temperature relationship. Fan cannot understand the natural language. Fan is not aware about the electricity bill. Fan is not aware about its own purpose. Fan does not remember the past history. Fan does not know who are its users. Fan does not clean itself. Okay, these are all problems that a fan is having. That is current user is that is there is some problem. Okay, user has to do most of the things manually, and if fan does not provide the service intellectually, it is not an intelligent fan. It is just a machine and completely depending on the human being. From these problems, we can define a problem statement. We have to come out with one problem statement like design of intelligent fan, which can provide context sensitive services, which can understand the user as soon as the user comes. It can understand. It must and should understand whether he need a fan or not, without human interaction, without communicating with the user. It can even communicate with natural language with the user, and it can provide a service. That is, a minimal interaction should be there, but it has to give a maximize context sensitive user needed services. This is a problem statement we have designed after understanding all the problems, after studying in detail the problem that exist with the current conventional fan. We can come out with one common statement, single statement like design of intelligent fan which can provide context sensitive services. Now, while coming out with the different ideas for designing this type of intelligent fan, here I've got listed only two ideas here. But through brainstorming sessions with the team members, one can come with n number of ideas. Here I've just listed two ideas here. Idea one, intelligent fan, which can recognize the user's context and sets its speed based on the set of rules. That is, rules will be fixed. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 1, and so on, and based on that intelligent fan can recognize the user's situation, context, and sets its speed based on the set of rules. The idea two. In the another idea, I just identify the another idea, say intelligent fan which can learn on its own to provide contextual service based on the history. That means two types of idea: a fan which learn by itself, and another idea, a fan will do the services based on the inbuilt embedded rules. Okay, this is as per the ideas. We can go for data preparations here. This is a rule based fan like this. For example, rule 1. In rule 1, user 1 is there, temperature is low. For user 1, when temperature is low, when the switch will be switched off, and there is no question of speed. Okay, and also it must have capability. This is the rule based here. Okay, there can users image data set is also necessary for modeling. These are all databases that is that we must uh, prepare. One is rule based and another one is history database. If it suppose it wants to learn by itself, then we need to develop an history data. It must have capability to design its own databases. Initially, it will be creating a database based on the user usage manually. Okay, that is history data set. We have got service 1, user 1, in the different conditions like low temperature is low and speed is medium. Service 2 S2, user 1, medium, on, low, like this. Okay, this history data has been built based on the initial usage of the user. Manually, this is manually used by the different users. It will go on building a database by itself, and it will start to learn from that database. Gradually it will not ask the user to do manually. It will develop the intellectual capacity itself. In rule base we will have different rules like R1, R2, R3, R7, 8, 9, 10, okay, so on. And this based on this rule it will go on searching the rule only. Okay, whenever a new user comes, it searches for the rule and appropriate condition, and it will go on and it will provide services based on that particular rule or nearest rule that is available. Okay, if there is a mismatch on the rule, it may fail in providing services, or it may give a different service which may not be satisfied to the user. Again, but in case of learning a fan, it will learn gradually. Okay, and it will try to satisfy the that is, it will increases its performance in satisfying the user gradually. Initially it may be 50% satisfaction, then may it become 70%, 80%, 100% like this. While preparing a model, one has to prepare rule base or history data set will be prepared by the system itself. User's image data set is required because the fan has to recognize the user by some means, either through camera mode or any other sensor mode, and it must have some predefined instruction sets, also voice commands also, because it has to understand what commands that it told by the user for its operations, like switch on, switch off. This may be the voice commands. Pairable devices, which are the devices that it can be paired. All these data sets has to be prepared. Once the data sets has been prepared, then capabilities has to be modeled. Now, different capabilities like recognizing the user context, decision making, recommendation of the services, context based service recommendation, voice communications, like this. Now here on the AI capabilities like a user recognitions. For user recognition, one can use a model or algorithm like convolution neural network, principal component analysis, okay, Bayesian neural network, like this. Any one algorithm they can use, and trial and error they can make with all the three algorithms, and they can come out with the one best algorithm. And context recognition like a decision tree, decision table, okay, deep neural network. This thing can be used for recognizing the user context. Okay, and for service recommendations like content based or collaborative based recommendation systems are KNN. Even for decision making, for recommendation of for all type of recommendation, it may be a simple recommendations or contextual recommendations or content based recommendations. One can go for this type of appropriate algorithms, and best algorithms can be selected, and it can be utilized for developing the recommendation systems. And once it comes to voice recognition or speech recognition, One can go for quantizations, vector quantization, dynamic type mapping, and artificial neural network, Hida-Markov model, or recurrent neural network. See, these are the capabilities that in order to make the artificial fan as an intelligent fan, one must the fan must have a capability like recognizing the user, context recognizing, service recommendation, and speech recognition. And any of the models, suitable models, has to be selected, and fan has to be designed. That is, intelligent fan has to be designed. And finally, the designed a fan will look like this. That means can talk now. It can interact with the user. It can recommend user required services also, and it can decide what the action that it has to take, and it can recognize these situations. It can recognize the context, it can recognize itself, it can recognize the user, and it can observe the nature, observe the environment that it exists. Okay, these are all capabilities that it becomes, and it will be more intellectual as compared to the conventional intelligent fan. And then now it will be knowing what type of services it has to provide, and how much energy it can save. Okay, how much it can satisfy the user. Okay, all these abilities will get embedded into that fan, newly designed fan. Okay, this is all about this session. In this session we understood about different phases of design thinking for artificial intelligence, and we took a fan as a use case study, and understood how to design this intelligent fan. Okay, thank you all. In the next session, we will once again meet with specific intelligent objects, and we will learn how to design this artificial intelligent specific objects. Once again, thank you all. Happy learning.